Hey y'all, it's Rose, and today I'm going to be sharing my day of surgery story with you guys. Guys, so to start off talking about what my day of surgery was like and stuff, of course, it starts the day before surgery because, you get in the bed and you have to drink your pre-surgery drinks and, get a good night rest and things like that. So on June 3rd was the day before surgery, and I actually had two or three pre-surgery drinks that I had to drink by a certain time. And so two of the pre-surgery drinks I had to drink like around the evening on June 3rd. And I went to bed around 10 o'clock, and so I couldn't eat or drink anything after midnight, I think it was, and like no candies or anything like that. And then I honestly just went to bed, and I had my car all ready to go with all my stuff in it. And then on June 4th, which was the day of surgery, I woke up at 4 a.m., 4:30, and I had one more pre-surgery drink that I had to drink by a specific time. I don't exactly remember, but I had to drink two the night before or the day before, but it was more of like in the evening time because I couldn't eat or drink, like I said, after a certain time. So that was on June 3rd. And then June 4th, I just had one more pre-surgery drink that I had to drink, and then I had to take a shower. I actually had to take a shower the night before as well. I took a shower in the evening, and then that was the day before, and I also took one that morning of surgery because that's what my doctor said I had to do. I had to wash in like a specific antibacterial or antiseptic body wash, and it was just like a really good cleanser for my skin to get my back all ready for the surgery and stuff, so that way it was all clean and stuff. So I did that the night before and the morning of surgery, and that's why I woke up so early for the surgery too, because I had to take a shower, and my hair was in French braids, so that way when I got to the hospital my hair was ready to go. I could just put my cap on. And so like I said, could not eat anything, so I skipped breakfast, and but it was super early, and so I basically just got up, drunk the pre-surgery drink, and I took a shower. I got some comfy clothes on because when you get to the hospital, you're changing into a hospital gown anyway, like within a few minutes. And so my dad and mom were the only ones awake because my mom was the one taking me to the hospital, and then my dad was staying at home with my brothers and sisters just because of the rules and stuff going on. And then no one else was up because it was so early in the morning. And so my brothers and sister were actually still in bed, but my dad did get up with my mom and I and spend some time with us before we left. And my mom and I left my house at 5 or 5:30. I think it was like 5:15 we left around that time. And then um, on the way to the hospital, like the hospital is not far from our house at all, probably 20-25 minutes. And so we just kind of talked a lot on the way to the hospital, but we were all good. Our nerves were all good and calm, so that was great. But I just tried to stay, peaceful, and just try to think about the better outcome that was going to be the good benefit from the surgery and stuff. But I honestly had just done so much research about it. I just wasn't really nervous or anything. And so when I got to the hospital, we actually had to park in a parking garage, and we were kind of in a little bit of a rush because I had to be in the hospital by 6 o'clock. And so we got to the hospital, went to the parking garage, and we got all of our luggage out. And we were staying from a Thursday to a Sunday, so we had a lot of luggage, and we had a lot of pillows and all of our blankets and stuff. And so we were in the hospital, and we walked in, and we were like, where are we supposed to go? Are we supposed to go? Because we knew we were supposed to go to a certain floor, but we were trying to find the elevator. And so it was actually the same hospital that I had my MRI done at, and so I just went to that like little desk, the same desk I went to when I had my MRI done, to check in. And I asked her when we got to the hospital, I was like, where do we go? We asked, where do we go for the surgery and stuff. And so the person, I can't remember if it was a man or a lady, I can't remember, but they told us where to go. So we went to that elevator, and we were we stopped at that floor, and then we got off at the floor there, and they were ready for me. It was just kind of like a waiting room, and they were actually calling me back because we were kind of like I don't know if we were late, but they called us and they were like, "Where are you?" You know, and we were like, "We're trying to get on the right floor there." And so anyway, a nurse came to like the waiting area. We were only there for like less than 2 minutes. We were just sitting there because we knew they were waiting on us because it was almost or at 6 o'clock at that time. And so um, a nurse, she called us back, and we walked back with her to a small hospital room. And there I met another lady. I'm pretty sure she was a nurse too, or like a assistant or something. And she gave me my hospital gown, and then I used the restroom, and I just kind of sat there for a few minutes, and she asked me a lot of questions, and just got all the things ready for my chart. And then just a bunch of people just coming in and out asking me questions, you know, like what my name was and date of birth and things like that. My birthday, basically. But they said date of birth. But it was my birthday, so they would ask me that, and then, you know, just basically a bunch of different people coming in and out asking me the same questions, checking my blood pressure, and um, you know, things like that. And then the surgeon came in, um, and he I think he like marked my back just to make sure that, you know, or just to know that it was back surgery for anyone else in the operating room, I guess, to know that's back surgery and stuff. So that's just something small that they do. They just mark on your back, and so like people know like you're not having like any other surgery. It's just your back and stuff. So then I'm pretty sure like there was, I think it was after that, there was a lady that came in, and she said that she was like the teacher of the hospital. Um, and so she just kind of educated people on things that were going to happen next and stuff um, in the hospital room. And so like she was telling me about like the IV and stuff, and because they were about to do the IV, and so she was just telling me like, you know, what the IV was, and it wasn't necessarily like a needle. It was just kind of like a different type of material, but it was an IV. So she was really sweet, and she was like one of my favorites. She was so nice, and she gave me like a stress reliever to hold in my hand, kind of like a stress ball. And so I held that, and my mom was in there at this. My mom was in there at all times. Like my mom was over there standing by me, and we had masks on, so it was kind of hard to, you know, I guess like keep in touch with like talking to each other. I just didn't talk much like during those times because there was so many people in and out of the room. And then I don't know if it was like doctors, nurses, or who, but like there was just a bunch of people that were coming in there and helping me with the IVs and stuff to like help. Like they were helping get the IVs basically in my arms and stuff, and it wasn't working too well. And I'm pretty sure I think I was supposed to have the IVs in before I went into the operating room, because that was the whole purpose of why they were trying to get the IVs in. But I have like I don't know exactly what it's called something, but like I have veins that are just like they don't like reflex out, you know, they push back. So it was super hard for them to get the IV in, and it wasn't working at all. And they were trying my arm and my other arm, like they were trying both my arms, my hand, I think, and it hurt, but it didn't, like I wasn't crying, but it almost did have me like shed a tear or two, because they were just kind of doing it over and over, just trying to find a way that they could get the IV, but it wasn't working. And so we were running out of time, basically, I guess you could say, because my surgery was at 7:20. And so then I'm pretty sure it was a doctor. It wasn't my doctor, so I'm not sure if it was a doctor, but there was some of the operating room team that came in, and they were like, we're just going to go ahead and take her back. And so that's kind of when I was like, kind of got nervous, because I mean, they couldn't get the IV in, but I knew they could eventually, but they were just kind of rushing. And so um, my mom was like, my mom was over there and standing there, and she said, like, we told each other basically like we loved each other, and we said, I love you, I'll see you later. And then they pushed me out of the room on the rolling bed. I don't know what they're called, like the hospital bed, but it rolled. And so they pushed me out into the hallway, and then I was on my way to the operating room from there. But I still remember all of that, and I still remember like even on the way to the operating room and into the operating room and what that looked like and stuff like that. So there was a bunch of nurses and doctors, and basically they were the person that was wheeling me into the operating room on the way there and stuff. I didn't have to go to a different floor, I don't think. I don't remember an elevator or anything like that. But there was the person that was wheeling me in, and he was like on a walkie-talkie and stuff, so it kind of just made me nervous. Like, I was like, is something wrong, you know? But nothing, sorry. I just touched my table over here and it just made a sound. Like, anyway, nothing was like really wrong. It was just kind of like a fast process. And so it was a bunch of nurses and doctors that were in the hallway, and they kind of just leaned up against the wall and led me through there and got me, you know, out of the way and stuff through the hallway. And then I saw the operating room sign, and it was like these two big double doors, and um, they wheeled me in there, and I was like, oh, this is kind of scary. Like, I didn't see my surgeon at first, but then I saw on the door my surgeon's name, and so I was like, yes, I'm good, okay, like, this is the right place. And it was just kind of like a peaceful, comforting thing to know, like, you know, I'm in the right place. And they were all like super nice, super supportive, just trying to keep me calm, and as well as just trying to figure everything out, you know, and trying to get IVs and stuff. But I mean, it wasn't super scary and painful, but it was just kind of like it's kind of nerve-wracking, I guess, you know. And just because it was my first time with a hospital experience, basically. So I got in the operating room, and then they try to put the anesthesia thing over you. And so at first I was like, this is not going to work. Like, I was so determined that it wasn't working, because like they tried it once and it didn't work. And they were talking to me, and they were like, I think it was a nurse. Yeah. Hey, sorry about that. Someone came out on my porch, my mom, and she was like, is someone out here on the porch? And I was like, yeah. Sorry. So, anyway, yeah, they were trying to put the anesthesia mask over me, and I think the first time they, like, counted the nurse or the assistant or something. I do not know. I feel so bad because I keep saying they, but like I don't know if it was like a nurse or doctor. I just know it was like a bunch of people, and they had scrubs on, and my surgeon was there. And yeah, I know it was nurses, but like I just don't know the names of all the people, the anesthesiologist team and stuff like that. So anyway, there was a nurse, and he was counting to just, you know, get the anesthesia mask on me so I would fall asleep. And I just remember like him asking me questions just to kind of keep my mind occupied and stuff. And I remember all of that, and I remember seeing the operating room, and it was kind of scary, but I mean, it's an operating room. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't really, really scary, but I don't know exactly if I've ever seen an operating room before other than that, because I've never had a surgery, so I don't think so. But you know how you can see like the sign, it says OR, and so anyway, yeah, so he was counting and stuff, and I finally fell asleep, and after that I was out, and I don't remember anything else. But it took a minute or two for the anesthesia to like kick in, because they kept trying to, you know, have me breathe in into the mask, and I was like, you know, this is not working, like for the first two times. But then it did, and it did not smell too good at all. Like, it did not smell good at all. And at first I was like, oh, I can't do this, you know. But I mean, you think you can't, but you will. You'll be fine. You'll be eventually able to, you know, get it over with. And so 4.5 hours later, I was in the recovery room, and I don't remember what I saw or really much of anything from the recovery room, just because the medicines and all is still in your system, of course, and you're still so blurry and trying to like figure out where you're at, and you know, all that stuff, and you're super tired, so it's just kind of a big blur. But I do remember hearing my mom and the nurses and stuff, and I do remember seeing a little bit of it, of what the recovery room was like, but I wasn't in there for long, so they moved me automatically to a hospital room, and then I stayed there the rest of my stay at the hospital. And I do remember when I did get to the hospital room, I do remember, you know, getting there and sitting up in the chair for the first time on the day of surgery, and I actually was able to sit in a chair and sit up and stuff just a few hours after surgery, so that was really exciting. But yeah, I remember a lot of it. I don't know, most people say they don't, but I do remember a lot of, you know, the hospital and things like that. So yeah, that's kind of what my day of surgery was like. I didn't really eat a lot on the day of surgery. I was really thirsty and nauseated and stuff, so that was after I woke up from surgery, but I did just eat a lot of crunched ice and mashed potatoes and water and juice and things like that. So, yeah, but that's kind of what the day of surgery was like for me. I really hope you guys, I'm sorry, I cannot talk. Like, what in the world? Anyway, I really hope you guys found this video kind of interesting. I really want to share, my story to just help other people. And sometimes stuff isn't always fun and, always exciting. But this is, kind of the true. This is just how it is. And I want it to be like real. And so, because when you're going through it, like it's not all glamorous and stuff. So, and that's just part of it. It's not all, fun and, like I said, exciting. Some stuff is just how it is. And so I think surgery was definitely, there was definitely some hard times through it, just with the pain, and there's still some hard times. Like, I'm almost 3 months post-op. But there's still some hard times just because I can't do everything like normal, but I know that I will be able to eventually. So that's the fun and exciting part to look forward to. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. And if you have any questions, you can always leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks, y'all. Bye.